Here we are at the ram overflow, and interestingly enough, I don't see any real bee activity in here. I would expect to see them in here, like where the water isn't flowing hard and it's just kind of wet. Oh, there's one. Okay, so they are hitting this a little bit. There's another one off to my left. Okay, well, I kind of suspected they would be, because this is fresh spring water pumped straight from the spring via the ram pump. So that's another resource they're hitting. Alright, daily checkup on the hives. It's a beautiful sunny day today, but it's windy. And it's about 40 or 45 degrees, so it's a little cool. But with the sun out, those guys are rolling. They're doing their thing. I'm going to take a closer look here. So it looks like the mouse excluder is no problem over here. I don't see any dead bees piling up. On this one, I do see some. So I think we're going to peel that back tonight when things are calmed down a bit out here, and let them be able to clean out a little better. And then this one seems okay over here. I've got bees running into me. I should get out of their flight path. They probably don't appreciate me in their flight path. Anyway, good activity. I'm very excited to have 3 live hives after a long season. We're supposed to have one more cold night tonight, down to 26 degrees or so. And then the rest of the forecast is looking a little more spring-like and seasonal, so hopefully that'll be the last of the cold and some more flowers can break out. I haven't fed these guys anything. The guy I got the bees from said he always leaves at least 100 pounds of honey on the hive at the end of the season, so that they can work off their own reserves. I really like the idea of preserving their natural operations and then just harvesting off the excess that they produce. I've been watching that channel, Frederick Dunn. Shout out to Frederick Dunn. That guy is doing some excellent bee study, bee work, frequently asked questions videos. The guy is really on point, so thank you, Frederick Dunn. I'll throw a link in the description of this video for his channel. Excellent resource. And also shout out to shout out to Canadian Beekeepers Vlog. Him too. He's up in Canada, and he actually brings his hives into a storage shed, and he's a commercial beekeeper. Frederick Dunn is doing more close-up study and experimentation stuff. He's done some excellent stuff on using different types of salt in water and different water types. If you haven't seen his videos, you really should go check those out. Excellent information, excellent experiments and tests. Anyway, I'll put links in the description for both of those guys. A little more resource exploring. Fred was saying that they go after those trace mineral nutrition points. All of this soil is recycled soil from the greenhouse that's been through rock dusts, foliar feeds, etc., with tons of trace mineral nutrition present. And you can see they're going directly for this resource very aggressively. There are bees everywhere around this pile working it. And actually, let's compare that, because this is goat manure. Oh, automatic vent going down. This is goat manure that I got here last year from another farm. And he was saying that they go after the manure piles, but that's an interesting comparison, because this goat manure pile is directly next to the trace mineral nutrition soil pile, which I'm sure has manure residues in it, but at this point it probably isn't much other than broken down, core minerals basically, or organic matter. So it's interesting that they're preferring this soil with the trace mineral nutrition in it over the goat manure, which I'm sure has some degree of trace minerals in it, but I know it's not going to be anywhere near as high as this stuff. So another interesting notation to make. And they are also going after this pool heavily, which was spring water last year at this point. I don't think I'd even call it spring water. I mean, it was pumped from the spring, but it's not anything special. Unfortunately, there are some bees drowning in here, so I might have to set up a trickle tap or something off of the ram line right near the hives so they have a fresh water source, and we help keep some of the population away from the pool. I don't want everybody drowning on me. There's quite a few that have gotten out in that water and couldn't get back out. So we'll have to remedy that. But man, they're all over in there. Trying to use that the stems of that goldenrod to get down to the water without falling in. Yeah, we're gonna have to put a water tap right off the ram line, right next to the hives. Make it right handy. And I'm going to add a probably a pink Himalayan salt or maybe a sea salt, maybe a mixture of the two, water source for them as well, so they can get trace minerals right out of the water. Fred said that's very effective at boosting hive health and immunity, so that never hurts. Once again, it all goes back to trace mineral nutrition and biology, the two trump cards in the system, the natural system. I've never watched bees play tennis before, so looks like that might be a good way to give them a way to get to water where they don't endanger themselves of falling in. I don't know if I want to use tennis balls. I don't like the idea of the potential chemicals in tennis balls. These were in the pressure chamber for a full season pumping, so I imagine they've been flushed out pretty well. But something like that would work good. Some kind of a floating ball with a cloth on it, so it would capillary action, draw water up. They could land on it and get to it and not fall in. It's amazing how many bees are coming in and out of here. They are just everywhere in here. Just literally a swarm in and out. Oh, it's so awesome having honeybees. Yeah, see how the one guy fell off into the water and he's able to get back on the ball. Get on the ball, as they say. And I'll zoom you in here a little bit. Lost the focus there a little bit. Quite a cluster of them over here doing their thing. Sorry on the focus. I got one just landed on my jacket on my wrist. Hey there, little guy. What you doing? Checking me out? Going to be a lot of fun studying these guys. They are such an interesting creature.